If Esteban asks me a really awkward question, I can say, no, I don't want this in there.
I don't think that's going to happen, Ian. No worries.
Awesome.
All right.
Let's take it away, boys and girls. Let's take it away. Esteban, how are you?
No problem. I'm very good. Very good. Great to finally speak to you.
Exactly. Like normally I see you like passing on sim racing and I can't catch you. So
Well, you are having more experience than me in e-racing, Ian, anyway, so you can start with it.
Well, you know, for me, you know, I'm a massive petrol head. So, you know, I think most golf followers know that I'm a pretty big petrol head. I'm a big Formula One fan. For me, it's been like a mini dream come true because, you know, the opportunity for me to race against guys like you, to race against Lando, Charles Leclerc, and all of the guys on the grid is somewhat of an impossibility, right? I've absolutely loved it. You probably haven't enjoyed having to pass me on the track. But
no,
you know,
but to be honest, I've been following you quite a lot from the beginning because, of course, I was not part of all the F1 races and all that. But I've seen your progression and how much you give and how much you push, you know, to get better all the time. And I'm seeing this, you know, competition spirit, you know, catching back, even if it's not your sport. And I see you put the hours, you trained before. I was very impressed with your spirit of fighting there.
How are you testing your fitness levels to make sure that you're strong enough and your neck strong enough? We've seen the exercises that, you know, all F1 drivers do, kind of leaning up against, you know, Max
which are horrible.
Had a video out last week and it looks painful.
Yes. Yeah, they are horrible, but basically for sure, yes, you need a strong neck. You need a strong, I don't remember how you call those muscles, but traps, is it traps?
Traps,
in
yeah.
English? Traps, you need very strong traps, but more than strong, it's the endurance, the important, because when you are going through 1 hour and a half of race, it's good to have a strong neck, but you need more endurance than being strong. So those muscles need to be have a good endurance, but then you need to be strong as well on the legs, on the core, to hold yourself in the seat, even though the seats are molded to you. If you have good core muscle and good back muscle to hold yourself, you will last a lot longer and you will be able to focus for a lot more time in the race. The biggest difficulty, I think, is to arrive at the last 10 laps and not being dizzy. You know, that's when you are lacking a little bit of fitness, when you start to see blurry. Now I feel very good. I feel ready to go if we need to go for the race tomorrow. But I think you should also know, Ian, how are you keeping fit during the lockdown and everything?
You know, I've done more. I it's no secret. Again, I don't like the gym. You know, as a kid, I worked in a pro shop, and you know, I was eating golf club food. So golf club food would be burger and chips, or ham, egg, chips and baked beans, or
we all love
McDonald's.
that.
Love it. So, you know, from an early age, I really wasn't exposed to going to the gym. So for me, you know, when I got my tour card 21 years ago, you know, the realization of trying to travel the world, you know, I needed to be in a little bit better shape. So over the last, you know, 10, 11 weeks, I've been doing quite a bit of cycling.
Okay.
So as a 44-year-old guy who's in his 21st, 22nd season on tour, I feel fresher today than probably I've ever felt before because,
Fantastic.
You know, the opportunity to jump on, knowing we were always going to have this time off, it's very rare. And it's just such a strange situation. We never, ever get this much time off. And I feel great. And I feel, you know, like you, I'm actually really super excited to get going again because I think I miss the adrenaline of competition.
Yes.
you probably in your environment, you probably get the ultimate adrenaline rush every single moment just before you press that pedal on the start grid, because you take your life into your own hands and you're out there doing a dangerous job. I don't kind of get that each week, because if I get off to a slow start, the adrenaline's not really pumping as hard as what it would be if you're in contention.
Yeah.
But I feel fresh, I feel ready, I feel excited. Obviously we want to be safe in the return to sport.
Definitely,
but even in a way, it's kind of a nervousness, excitement about getting back to what is the sport I love. And the sport that really kind of started me off and got me kick-started.
So in big tournaments, Ian, do you prefer playing with a friend or big rivals?
Great question. Really good question. I think there's a mixture of both of that. I think for, if I think about the Masters last year, when Tiger Woods came back to win, his 15th major, and on Saturday I was paired with Tiger in one of the last groups. I think for me, as somebody in the game that's been as successful as Tiger Woods, and somebody that as a professional you've always looked up to, as someone that set the bar as high as possible in the 2 decades that I've been playing the game, to have the opportunity to play with him in that group and go toe to toe with him in a way which it inspired to bring the best out in me. Now I see him as potentially, a rival in a way, because I'm competing against him one-on-one, but more than a rival, he's really the best and the benchmark that we've all got to talk about in golf. And it inspired me on that Saturday. I played exceptionally well. And he played exceptionally well too, which is what you would expect from Tiger Woods. So, I took a lot out of that on that Saturday and got, extremely motivated the night before. I think I kind of tried to I thought about my round of golf the night before when I went to bed, how I wanted to play certain holes, where I could take advantage of the golf course. So it really kind of motivated me to give it my all. Not to say I don't give my all anyway, but it's just that little bit of extra motivation in there to be able to go out there and play well on the main stage. And then other times, when you play with a good friend, someone who you've kind of played with in the last 20 years, a European player, again, the round of golf can flow very nicely because you're very, very, very comfortable in that situation.
So Ian, you've played in the Ryder Cup. How do you deal with the pressure of playing in a team?
Differs a lot. And, when you're part of a team and you have the opportunity to put the European shirt on with a crest, you get a massive sense of pride, and the overwhelming, pressure and responsibility to go out there and perform for everyone else, as opposed to just going out there to perform for yourself. For me, it's really important to always think positive things in those situations. And by doing that, when I find myself in those pressure-packed situations, if I think back to Medina in 2012, when, I had the chance to hold the putt on that last green on Saturday night to take it to 10-6 in the match. It was a 15-foot putt. And, I really didn't think anything else apart from, when I hold the putt, this is what's going to happen. So there was never a glimmer of any negativity that was kind of creeping into my mind. And this all happened, very, very quickly, because you've only got, really a certain amount of time to look at the break of the putt, assess it, process it, stand over and hit your putt. So it's just the positive energy of what the outcome could have been that excited me in a way where I felt I was never, ever, ever going to miss that putt. And I think that's one of the most magical moments I've ever had on a golf course, and a pivotal point in such a big match.
Fantastic. Right. So it's a good transition there, because you spoke about the energy, that the fans give you. In both of our sports, we are going to be without fans. It's going to be very, very different. People think, in football, fans, they energize the game. They are really needed for the sport, and people maybe think differently for Formula One, because we are in the car, we can't hear the fans as much. But in my opinion, it's very, very important. It gives me, and it gives to the sport an atmosphere which is, you can just say testing. There is nothing going on. There's nobody. There is no atmosphere. You are not as boosted up before getting in the car. In the race, there are the fans cheering for you. Everyone is pushing for you, and before you get in the car, and it gives you an extra boost and extra motivation. So how is it for you to not have the fans by your side on the game?
It's going to be weird. It's going to be hard to control from a perspective of wanting to pull from the fans, wanting to get some energy from them.
Yeah.
And when you're in contention to win, I'm not sure how that's going to feel when you hole a putt from 20 feet, or you chip in at a vital time, on the back nine, and no one's there. No one's there to clap. Nobody's there to give you that kind of emotion where you can kind of fist pump it home. It's going to be really weird to see how players react in that environment. With you, how will it feel, driving visually? I mean, obviously the stands will still be there because they're in place, but how will it visually be for you, to have that sensation and no noise?
Well, if you're in Mexico, for example, you arrive into that stadium part, you make a move, on that hairpin, and you hear the crowd. You hear the crowd just reacting to what you are doing on track, and that's awesome. That's what gives the atmosphere to our sport. Normally on the Monday or Tuesday, sometimes there are testing sessions, and when you come back on the track to prepare the testing sessions, there is nobody anymore. Well, everything's gone. It's just not the same. So it will feel very, very strange, very, very empty to be racing with no atmosphere like that. But definitely, it's better to be able to restart, to give those fans something to entertain them on TV at least.
Our season now is going to take itself all the way to the 13th of December, which I think is the same weekend as you guys are going to be in Abu Dhabi.
So you want to turn up?
So I will be. Well, hopefully,
definitely.
Hopefully, I get to miss. I mean, if hopefully I'm holding the trophy in my hand at say 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm trying to think what time the Grand Prix finishes. It starts in the light and goes to the dark.
Yes, exactly.
Rightly. So hopefully I can make it just about in time to watch you.
That would be a cool story.
on the podium would be amazing.
Definitely. Well, let's make that happen. I really look forward to start driving them as we speak now. You make me want to get to the track.
I can tell with a smile on your face. I mean, it's every time I think you've got you've got a dream job, if I'm going to call it a job. It's
thank you.
There's only so few of you guys that actually get the opportunity to drive a Formula One car. So
yeah,
from me as a petrol head looking in from outside, it's the ultimate job. 20
we'll try to organize something, Ian. We need to try and organize something with the team and DP World. I'm pretty sure we can organize a test for you.
Well, that would be amazing.
All right, well, perfect. I'm ready for it.